Starts now!
Welcome to Friday Night Lights on Fox 12 Oregon, presented by Pacific Office Automation.
Well, no smoke, no joke. Here we are. What started on September 1st has arrived at the last stop for some, and it's a split in the tracks for the rest. Week 9 of Friday Night Lights marks the regular season finale. Green means go towards the playoffs. The postseason matchups will be set on Saturday. Title night in Wilsonville. The perennial champs of the 5A Northwest Oregon Conference welcoming in the unbeaten Rex Puckenham Kingsmen. RP last won the league in 1986. Wilsonville's junior quarterback there, Callan Guttridge, has played in all types of big games. This thing goes to 11. You pull it, you keep it, you run it, and you score it. Wildcat out to the early edge and a 30-yard QB keeper score. Later first, more cat scratch fever on that wet turf for Randall Stadium. This is Jacob Ogden taking it all the way down from 18 yards and in for 6 more. 14-0 WHS. Now Guttridge has the arm, the legs, and the dude down the field to haul it in too. Going deep 6 to Cooper Hyde. Goodbye day. By night, 58 yards, 21-0. Putnam trying to reel it back before break. Boy, Connor Bickford has some big throws this year. Tyler Creswick, big catches like this one too. Great hands in the wet stuff. First down, though they would not score. Creswick did have 2 interceptions of the night. In fact, the Wildcats would extend the lead before a chance to get dry at halftime. Guttridge, give him 7 more. This from even further out to Hyde, 63 yards. The Kingsmen would not be skunked, though. Third quarter, Jackson Doyle X marks the spot after a turnover, a 12-yard touchdown, but really any chance to rally saw the air out of the balloon when Mark Weipert did this, taking back the ensuing kick to the house, kicked the feet up before the playoffs. 42-14, Wilsonville, NWOC champs again. The second-ranked Wildcats, 2 losses to 6A Tualatin and 5A number 1 Summit. The 8-1 Kingsmen, rated number 3 coming into the night, headed to their first postseason in a decade. Both will host in round 1. Who you got? South Salem, North Salem, 7-1 Saxons, 5-3 Vikings for the Mayor's Cup. South are the highest scoring teams in the state because guys like this. Dashiell Smith, Tinny Tally, top of the charts. Strong opening possession. Same drive, North would bow up on defense. Zach Wustig, tough as a runner as there is around, but the senior stuffed on 4th down. Scoreless into the second quarter, finally got some points. Smith locates, locks in Esteban Mendez, a 21-yard score for the home team, 7-0. That combo found the recipe 3 times. The Vikings, a pillaging crew, though, you know that. Damari Thompson, the junior, a home run hitter, batted him cleanup. 33 yards, one of the best track stars in the state as well. It went down to the wire until late. 33-14 South raises that Mayor's Cup. The Saxons into the night at number 9 in the rankings, 2nd in the Southwest Conference. The Vikes were 28th. Now recall, the top 16 will play for the state championship bracket. 17th to 32 will compete in that new Columbia Cup. And who's the best for the Rose City? Grant 6-0 in the PIL. Roosevelt 5-1 home in St. John's. The Hyde-riding Rough Riders needed a win for a share of the crown again. The Generals had a 13-game win streak in the series. Let it rain, let it pour. It didn't. No po and no go here on 4th and 4. Marshawn Waters ripped it. Benson Dybel made sure they felt it too. Boy, Grant trying to get for it on 4th and short. That's not going to happen as they had a tough time. Dexter Foster wasn't having any of that. Turnover on downs. Still no points. Second quarter. Generals using the rushing game again. Malachi Gray, though, ripped out. Lose it. That's a big play because it sets up the only points of the first half, a field goal. And that's the only points of the night. 3-0 for Roosevelt. It's the Velt's first win over Grant since 2000. And thanks to Jefferson getting by McDaniel, it's a 3-way tie for the PIL championship, RHS, GHS, and Jeff. And the place to be also was I to B. Follow your nose to the food trucks at Hillsdale. Winner Franklin and Wells would grab the automatic PIL bid as well, the last one there, both 3-3 in league. Halftime, Guardians up 38-22. Goal line run. Wyatt Andler handles that. 44-22 to double up in the third. Look at that rain, huh? Fourth quarter, Spencer Litwin lit him up again. A 41-yard hunt out of the nest. Down the sideline into the promised land. Wills up large. And still going, still scoring. Marcellus Griffiths taketh and giveth. Run down that dream, kid. 22-yarder. And you're going to flex on in front of Kevin Lund. Guardians winners, 58-28. Wells last made the postseason in 2015. So many top-tier matchups each week in that Three Rivers League. We were there at the 30th District meeting all-time, Tiger Tualatin, both 6-2, ranked top 10 in the state. You go big, you go home. Nobody wants to go home quite yet. Jack Wagner, born to bomb. Richie Anderson, big and rich. Save a horse, ride a T-Wolf. 40-yard detonator, starting the night off right for the home team. Into the red zone, soon the end zone. Kevin Eterian, the senior backer, gets behind those big dudes up front. Kev's in, 7-0. Tigers got some dudes, some animals too. Nate Duenas for the Tigers. The senior knows how to go this way. Momentum shifting opening quarter to draw the Tigers back level. That midfield spin on the punt. Go off, Nate, 55 yards, 7-7. Big play is the name of the game. Mr. Jack, the nasty one they call A.J. Nolan. Let it rip, let it sip on that. 33 yards, 14-7, 12 at half. Those two then hooked up for a 99-yarder in the third. Third straight victory for the T-Wolves in the series, 31-21. Elsewhere, TRL. Lake Ridge over LO. At LO. First win since 2013, 14-9. And Westland, an outright league champ, 55-13 in the 102nd battle for the bridge in Oregon City. In the Pacific Conference, came down to 1 point to determine a champion. Sherwood 20, Liberty 19. Westview nabbed that third playoff bid in the Metro League behind Jesuit and Mountainside, 27-7 at Sunset. In the Mount Hood, the Barlow Trail sees the Bruins down Sandy, 19-3. Good for third in the league behind Central Catholic and Nelson. Clackamas claims fourth with that big win over Reynolds, 34-7. Our big game went 1A 8-man style. Fox 12's Chandler Watkins live in St. Paul as the unbeaten Buckaroos look to get in the ring with a 6-1 Perrydale team out of Amity. Chandler, I'm guessing this was your first time covering a football game in a rodeo bowl.
Well, I came from the South, from Louisiana, so not my first time in a rodeo arena, but yes, definitely the first time I've covered a football game in one. Big turnout for the Casco League Championship game tonight against rivals St. Paul and Perrydale. Both teams had amazing seasons, but the Bucks remained undefeated and came out on top in this blowout matchup. Rivalry matchup to end the regular season for St. Paul and Perrydale. The Bucks make quick work after the Pirates kick off to start the game. Touchdown by number 2, George Polschneider. When St. Paul gets the ball back, 32, Clay Smith goes into the end zone. Second quarter sees 2 more touchdowns for St. Paul. A fumble by the Bucks sees the Pirates recovering the ball, but they just aren't able to get it down the field. Clay Smith runs into the end zone to put another 6 points on the board. Tyler Crawford with the interception, and Newman ends the half with another TD for the Bucks. The second half sees the Pirates get 2 sacks against the Bucks, one by 16, Con Lynch Moore, and another by number 12, Seth Riley. Later in the game, Pirates QB Lynch Gilmore throws a pass to Holden Gilson for the first down, but it just wasn't enough to put points on the board. The end score to the Casco League Championship, 52-0.
It feels great. Yeah, I have to thank our coaches. Coaching staff is incredible. Our line for blocking for everything, and our team is just solid, yeah.
I had the chance to speak with head coach Tony Smith of the Bucks before the game. I asked him if he could sum up the season in one word. He said, pleased. I'm guessing that answer still stands after this 52-0 win tonight. Also at tonight's game, the St. Paul Bucks retired the number 77 in honor of fallen firefighter Austin Smith, who was a Buck himself, and he played on the 2009 state championship team. We'll have that later on in the show, but for now, live in St. Paul, Chandler Watkins, Friday Night Lights.
Can't wait to see that. Those boys got to dry out. Friday Night Lights in the 4A Tri-Valley Championship from Woodburn. The reigning conference champs out of Estacada down there. They were both 7-1, unbeaten in league. Boy, Rangers score the most points in 4A. The Dogs allow the least. That's Peyton Matney and then James Duran on the goal line plug-in. Made it 50-12 for the kids from Estacada. That meant some time for the next generation of Rangers. Sophomore Lincoln Rathmanner. Give him the rock, move it down the field, and then push it up the hill. Lincoln logs a 4-yard score. 58-12. As they can hang another banner between the hedges in Estacada. They entered the night as a 6 seed in 4A, Woodburn a 12. Remember now it's a 16-team 4A bracket. Friday afternoon, daylights in Vancouver. Skyview Union, the winner, pulling a direct ticket to the 4A playoffs in Washington. Curtains in the season for the other. Final play of the third quarter, Storm leading 7-6. Jake Kennedy faking out my guy Clint, but he got back on it. 14-6 Skyview. Fourth quarter now. Kids love screen time, you know that. Kennedy on the screen pass to Trey Jacob. That's a chain mover. And boy, on a soggy night, that is turf there, but they gotta know how to run. Kennedy Cannon will 3-yarder quarterback keep for 6, 21-6 for the Storm. They'd collect some more Storm insurance too. Kennedy and Gavin Packer, 18 yards, last TD of the night, 28-6 final. Storm earned the #2 playoff bid in the GSHL. 4A Greater St. Helens League champion Camas got it done against Battleground tonight. In 3A, senior night for the Evergreen Plainsmen, who bleed, of course, green and gold. Big Blue down from Kelso at McKenzie. Bull side, 6-2. Big K, top of the district, was unbeaten. Evergreen had a 9-0 lead. A big return by Jonathan Landry, and then his big boot there by Thaddeus Pruitt in the first quarter, 9-0 Evergreen. That's when Kelso turned it up. Judah Calixte, a huge payoff in the kick return game. 42 yards to the 47. Different angle, like that. Stay dry, guy. Same drive, Tucker Amarine finds Zeke Smith. That's beautiful. Somebody uses an umbrella. Same drive. They get in. Connor Noah, 2x2 into the arc. Highlanders down 9-7. That's when the halftime score would be, as the two sides then traded turnovers before the break. Fumbles, flags, name of the game in most spots on this night. It wrapped up just moments ago in overtime. Kelso survived 29-22, claiming that 3A Greater St. Helens League title. Playoffs next. And the shortage of officials caused every school, of course, to play at least one Thursday night game this season. Many did it more than once. Last night was the TNL finale, with the playoffs moving to Fridays and Saturdays. It's a good thing. The last go, quite the show. A pair of teams scoring 79 points. Someone even posted 71 in defeat. That's real news. Thursday night lights. The 5A Dragon Lair on senior night from Dallas at Mid-Willamette Conference Clash. Remembered now for years. Crescent Valley, Dallas. Basketball season's near. This is a fast break. Rocco McClave from the Raiders threw for 10 touchdown passes, and that wasn't enough for the kids from Corvallis to pull the upset. Xavier Webster, Dalton Baker ran up and down the field all night. 79-71 final. True story. That's the highest scoring game in the state this season, and in modern times in the Beaver State, a 5A scoring record. The Raiders 71, the second most in state history, on the wrong side of an outcome. Wow, the 5A title game takes place Friday, November 25th. Senior night last night, newly named McNabb Field in Scappoose. The 4A Tribe needed a win over Astoria and a Tillamook loss at Milwaukee for a piece of the Coapa League title. We got to get your play of the night. Caden Baker, the block punt maker, and the sophomore, Brandon Nielsen, the flyby trick-or-treat catch and stride for the Sugar Rush, a special teams touchdown by that sophomore. And for the home run ball, who are you going to call? D'Angelo Macedo Becker, near midfield, and the compact senior back going fancy down that new fake plastic grass. The Poos goes to the postseason all smiles, 34-8. That 16-team field in 4A all leads the championship Saturday on November 26th. Home finale for David Douglas against conference champs and two-time defending 6A state champs from Central Catholic last night. #2 in the power rankings, the Rams are outright champs in the Mount Hood Conference. The best kind of start you can get is from plays like this. Timmy Mitchell, special teams being special. T. Mitch, game opening TD on the return. The running clock was in effect. 79-0. That's short of the school record, tied for the 4th most scoring output in 6A history. Win number 201 all time for head coach Steve Pine. The postseason matchups will again be set tomorrow. And if you ever miss a show, you've got no fear here. Fox 12's YouTube channel here for you. Like, subscribe, share, and care. Take it trick-or-treat Monday if you want to. Before you go knocking, don't forget to say please and thank you. We'll wipe our feet and you can kick back in your own lazy boy chairs. We count down the best of what our Fox 12 cameras captured for the past 2 nights during Sunday's 10 o'clock news with these 6 picks plays of the week. Still to come, more from Title Night in St. Paul, and this evening resonated in the community far beyond the points on the scoreboard. Chandler Watkins comes back with how the Buckaroos paid respects to the late Austin Smith. Plus, football to football. The Rex Putnam girls are back in the postseason, and all the Kingsmen are led by a Portland Thorn star and goal. We're hanging with Bixby's Bunch in this Week 9 edition of Fox 12 FNL, back right after this.
You're watching Friday Night Lights on Fox 12 Oregon, presented by Pacific Office Automation.